What's this? A little wooden baton? Very beautifully made, but it's actually an eraser. An eraser? What does it erase? Well, have a think about it, and I'll tell you at the end. Meantime, there's a whole bunch of strange erasers that I picked up over many years of collecting on the table here. The first one makes me laugh. It looks like an auctioneer's hammer. I haven't even sharpened it to use it. But when you're erasing, you use one side, or when it wears out, you turn it with the other side. That's nice. The second one is used by typists in the past when they had to erase something they'd typed, an ink thing. This is quite a hard rubber, so it will erase typing. And then rather thoughtfully, they include a little brush at the end to help to wipe away the jottings on the paper. This one, curious enough, is an unusable eraser. Well, this is usable, but not with this, because this is not a pencil, it's a biro. That is ink, and this won't rub out the ink. It just makes it look more like a pencil, but it's actually a biro in disguise. Have you ever heard of a propelling eraser? Well, this is one. This way it's a propelling pencil and you can write with it. This way it's a propelling rubber eraser and you can rub things out. Japanese, very clever. A friction pen that we sold on our website a few years ago, it's got something very strange about it. When you write something with it, if you want to rub it out, you can't use an ordinary eraser. You have to use the bottom of the pen, which is this quite hard plastic. And this is thermochromic ink. So when you rub it, it warms up the paper, and that's what makes the mistake disappear. Strange idea. You could put it over a candle, I guess, as well. And then there's a number of novelty erasers which children love, of course. Some have lovely smells and some are just puzzles, as these two are. The trouble with these is as you're using them, you wear out the puzzle. This one particularly bothers me. It's a nice little novelty yo-yo, but if I start rubbing it too much, it'll become unbalanced. But there we are. This one is a finger, and it's a rubber. And these are strange Japanese ones, wonderful shapes to them, but they're all made of a kind of rubber or plastic which will erase pencil marks. And these are kind of dice, I suppose, but again, you couldn't use them too much, otherwise the dice would become unbalanced, Japanese ones. And then some very pretty ones. This is my favourite, I think. It's a heart made in Japan which turns into a lozenge. Comes in halves, puts together again. But that's just the right material to rub out pencil markings. And a strange one here which propels, and as you're using it, you put each one to the back, and as you're gradually working through the rubber, you expose a bit more of the rubber, and then you add another bit at the back, and it gradually works through and lasts for years and years and years. And there's another one which I think is probably the best I've ever come across, which is an eraser designed by a Japanese guy, which is, well, it looks like an ape. But the idea of this is, as you're erasing, it changes shape. It morphs from an ape into Homo sapiens. Wonderful idea. That happened over about 6 million years, but this is going to happen with a bit of hard erasing, perhaps over a few weeks, from an ape man into Homo sapiens. So what was this all about then, this strange thing? It's an eraser. Well, it's an eraser for blind people who are trying to remove braille where they made a mistake. Here's some braille writing on a birthday card. And either use this end here if you're trying to rub out individual dots, but you're not rubbing them out, you're flattening them out before you can make your correction. Or this end will do big broad sweeps. Either way, it erases or it flattens the dots and allows you to correct your mistake and retype your braille. So what do I use for a rubber myself, or an eraser? Well, I'm afraid at the chamber choir every week where I go to, I just take an ordinary, bog standard, rather boring, rather grubby eraser with a pencil to mark my musical score. Well, you can't use any of these, can you? It's a collection, not to use, just to collect.